Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and Off the Brink, and we are one community, and we are here to do our Deck Revealed podcast, I guess. I've been thinking of Deck Reveal as an app for so long today, as I've been working on that I forgot that this is the podcast portion. I didn't forget. So, welcome back. We are here to talk about Steam Deck news, games, reviews, whatever PC gaming stuff too. Like we throw it all in there, and sometimes in relations to Steam Deck, sometimes not. It all depends on how juicy, I guess, the stuff is. So, before we get really into the nitty gritty today, let's make sure we just welcome everyone in. Um, the Cat Smith for you. Hey, how's it going? And the Cat Smith for you. As soon as I saw the notification for the stream, I pounced on it like a cat would on a mouse. Love hearing it. Love hearing it. Then we got Death Lord Strong. Hello. Dark Knight. Welcome. Viesta 2015. Well, welcome. Death. Hello, my favorite Steam Deck podcast. Ooh, I do love to hear that. Thank you so much. Jason, I loved my Steam Deck. Awesome. Glad to hear, Jason. What are some of the first things you did and played on it while we're warming up to get into the topics for today? Just gonna see here. Just going to be a little bit quiet as we get some comments in, and then I get these the browser kind of going. I did this wrong. Okay. Yeah, so we have a couple of topics. Make sure. Okay, so let's check back one more time with everything. Man, I really need to do better at organizing my tabs. Pretty much just a tab. Lost everything tabs wise. Okay, so I started emulations. Nice, Jason. Emulations are kind of one of those tough things. Viesta may or may not have just pre-ordered the Kill Switch case today. Can't wait to see it in 3 months. Oh, you can pre-order it. Have you been able to pre-order it for a while now? Maybe I'll throw that onto the docket of things to talk about or briefly go over. Add that real quick. And we'll go over the schedule. Okay. Fiscal Goose, I did the same thing. I've been watching since reservations started. Nice. Jason, this is an emulation powerhouse. It really is. Soy, good day, sir. Welcome, Soy. Death, Hogwarts Legacy Showcase Part 2 looked amazing, by the way. Oh, yes. Honestly, the more I see of it, the more I want to play it, actually. I'm a little hesitant on those types of games, but that one definitely looks like it'd be a fun one. Viesta, did you know that you can play Linux Steam on Tesla now? That is actually one of the topics we're going to be talking about today. Lomki, hey, how's it going? Yeah, you have. It's currently at a slight discount, I believe. Oh, okay. Hey, Wolf, welcome. Okay, now that we've welcomed almost everyone, and I'm sure more people will trickle in as we get going. Also, stretch the old neck out. We're going to be I'm going to be playing. It's not going to be on this channel. It's going to be on the Brink channel. Playing Choo Choo Charles. Finishing that up. I started part 1 yesterday. I'm going to finish it up tonight after this. So we got to get through everything so we can get back to defeating the Spider Tank or Spider Tank Engine. Spider Engine. Train. There we go. I'll talk now. I'll exit this podcast stream with that announcement too. So If you forget, don't worry. Jeremy, welcome, welcome. Keithan, more. What is your favorite thing about the Steam Deck? Mine is the portability. Honestly, mine is the ecosystem plus the portability in the sense of I always call it my companion. I take it with me. I can play games from my Steam library, which I've been collecting for years now. Um, I can play them on the go. Like that's the thing. I am absolutely obsessed with trying to get as many games onto Steam as opposed to anything else. The only other exception potentially is Epic Game Store. And now that I have my deck, I even try to avoid that, even with the exclusivities. Depends on how bad I want to play it, because I just prefer to play games through Steam because it's just easier on my deck. Plus, having them all in one place just makes it so much easier. Now, I'm hoping to change that just a little bit. I'm hoping to change that just a little bit with an app that I'm making, and it could potentially evolve quite a bit. And I will talk about that towards the end. Um, because I will need funding if I'm actually going to get this one done. It's a slightly big project, but I think it's going to completely change how people use their Steam decks beyond what its intended purpose was, which is playing Steam games. Okay, well, meaning you can play other games off other places a little easier, is what my hope is. Essentially, making guides useless. I keep talking about it. I'm preparing, and that's another thing I want to mention at the end of this is how I should fund it, because there's a bunch of different ways to do it. And I want to do it the right way so it's successful. Because the more backing I get, the more people that back it, the more likely like I'm gonna get, there's gonna be a version of it done no matter what. I'm working on it right now. But how far out I can get and how many features I can potentially do. Because I've treated my full time job, still do the videos and stuff like this, which I was doing during my full time job. I don't have a full time job yet. I do contracts sometimes, and I'm looking to pick up another contract, and I treat this like a contract. And I was going to talk about this at the end of the stream, and we're going to talk about this at the end of the stream. I'll keep on. Okay, so we'll chat with chat a little bit longer. We'll go over the itinerary. Start going over this. Is kind of how it's going to go. Is go over the itinerary, go over each subject. At the end of the subject, I'll chat with you guys, see what you guys have to say. If you have any more recommendations, I'll throw it onto the list. We have a pretty full house today, but we'll continue, I think, through the whole thing. But we do have a pretty hard deadline of hitting 9:20. So we don't have a lot of time today, as I have the choo choo Charles, and I did not want to go to bed at 1. Okay. You're buffering a lot. I wonder if it has to do with YouTube or if it's has to do with Melon. I'm pretty sure it's YouTube. YouTube does this. Okay. Jason, I enjoy Mugen fighting games on my deck. Keep talking and take my money. I do like that soy. No, it's definitely coming this week. Um, Speed baby, I need a way to move my Forza Horizon 5 save to Steam from my computer. And xCloud. Um, yeah, I think they should, depending on how they set it up, it should be compatible, I think. Um, you just have to see where it saves the save file for that. I couldn't help you off the top of my head because it just all depends on where it's at. Um, Jeremy, starting tomorrow, Epic is giving away a free game every day for the next 15 days if anyone is interested. You know what? I hate free stuff, so screw that. Now we just need to make it easier to play on Steam Deck, right? Yes. No, honestly, Jeremy, thank you so much. That is a great call out. Speed baby. Okay, yeah, we already talked about the xCloud thing. Yes, thank you, Jeremy. Everyone's thanking you, Jeremy. You are the best. Oh, yes. Keith Moore, 30. You should try High on Life. That yes, I'm going to. I really want to. I was not planning to play so many games the past few weeks, but I'm going to. It kind of hurts me getting more videos out, but I really do love playing these games, and there's a lot of interesting games coming out. So I definitely have that on my list next up. And luckily, Choo Choo. The thing I love about Choo Choo Charles, I think we're 2/3 through the game. I think I like games that are a little shorter these days because then I get on to the next game. Even though I am liking that game a lot. Lumkey, other than Epic Games killing off a bunch of classic games, didn't look into the reason. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I haven't looked at that yet. Lumkey. When you're playing it, turn the speakers all the way up, Keith. Will do. Okay, let's talk about what the agenda is today. First up, we have yeah, okay, yeah. Make sure to stick around until the end for the all the updates and talking about all the good stuff that's going to be coming to the channel, projects and all that. Then we're going to be talking about the new NVMe SSD drives that are coming out that are going to just they're just better quality, warranties, a bunch of different stuff that comes with that. Tesla launches Steam in its cars with thousands of games. Um, then we're going to talk about games. The Game Awards show just happened, or the Game Awards show, I guess, happened a week ago. I want to go over the ones I'm excited for, and this one's one. This is kind of a topic which I mentioned yesterday in my yesterday's video. What games are going to be compatible? What are we looking at for the state of 2023 on gaming on the Steam Deck with brand new games coming out, especially with some of these that have a little bit higher um, recommended settings? And so I want to talk about that. We'll watch some of the. We don't necessarily have to watch them with the trailers on, but we were going to watch some of the trailers too while we talk about it. Then, and just a hint, a couple of games on there is Banishers, which was the one that stood out to me the most. Hades 2, which kind of talked about last week a little bit already. And then we're going to get into what I am playing right now, which we've kind of talked about already, but I want to talk about it a little bit more. And then, um, okay, if it's buffering for you, I hate to do this, but you can go to Twitch. So I stream on 4 platforms, and I can throw them into the chat real quick, or Wolf can get into it. Let's see here. Copy. So you can go either to Twitter, and I do this partially for this reason, also just because it's kind of cool that I can do this. You can also go to Facebook. I believe all these are compatible. So I'm going to throw these out there. So I'm sorry, I'm just posting my links. So if you are buffering right now, you can go to one of those other locations and they shouldn't buffer. YouTube does this every once in a while. I don't think this is on my side unless I guess I could check to make sure that I'm not downloading or uploading anything on accident. No, I don't think so. I think the only thing it's mm, yeah, I think this is it. Okay. So, talking about what I'm going to do, and then the updates like some merge and funding of the app. Okay. With that, and I mean, I prefer people to be YouTube because it does help me to have more of a mass in one location to grow. But honestly, whatever is the best experience for you. Then let's get into it. So, first up, I don't think we have anyone that has any questions. Let's talk about let's see here. Viesta, if I ever buffer, it's because some mad lad is doing a 4K stream. Am I doing 4K? Oh, I don't think I told this thing to record. Ah, now that you bring that up, let me make sure. Like, I don't think. Okay, good. Okay, maybe it is recording. Good, 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 good. I apologize. I don't think this is doing 4K, by the way. I think this is just 1080. Okay. Okay, cool. It might be locational. There's a lot of complexes that goes into video streaming and yeah. Okay. So let me share let me share my screen. Let's see. Okay, first up on the docket is this. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's expand this a little bit. Do this. Oof, maybe that was a little too much. Okay. Oh, I think that's cutting off too much. Why do you have to do this to me? Okay. So first up, okay, thank you. Thank you, Viesta. First up, Sabrent Rocket 2230, a small form factor NVMe SSD with the impressive performance. There's two articles I looked at, the PC Gamer one and the Storage Review one. The reason I did this is this one has a little bit more technical details to it, and then the PC Gamer one has a little bit more just more in the layman's terms, I guess, kind of how PC Gamer goes, anyways. But essentially what's going to happen is Sabrent, they do a bunch of other SSDs like 2242s, 2280s. They don't do 2230s yet, from my understanding, or at least not at this size. So they're coming out with a new line for 2230s that's going to be, obviously, I think they're kind of jumping in on the Steam Deck bandwagon a little bit because it sounds like it's going to hit pretty hard on Steam Deck in the sense of it's going to double or potentially triple some of the drive speeds on the deck, meaning um, if you have and that could be coming from the 64 gigabyte version, honestly, but the 64 and the 2256 is going to be drastically faster than those, where those ones are neck and neck with the SD cards. Um, at times, we'll have to wait until we see this and get some tests on it. It could greatly be faster. Now, that is cool and all. So it does have a 256, a 512, and a 1 terabyte capacities, and they've announced that they're going to be doing a 2 terabyte capacity, and that's what really gets me excited. Is that, and they've made room in it, so meaning it should be one sided, be able to do 2 terabytes. Um, okay, and I'll get to questions and the comments a little bit after this portion. Okay, okay, and then there has been mention of, like, if you swap it out, like the 2230 or the 2242, you run the risk of uh, essentially causing your deck to not maybe perform at optimal temperatures, and also it could shorten the life. Now, that's obviously just hearsay in the sense of uh, the developers, even, well, at least some of the developers or some of the people related to Valve came out about that, and that's let's see here. This is going to be, oh, they did. Maybe we'll bring up the tweet. Sometimes this is kind of annoying. Yeah, Lawrence Yang talked about it, and honestly, and especially like the 2242s, because it does consume more energy. And when anytime, almost anytime you consume more energy, it's going to dispense more energy, right? Like, well, I don't know if there's, it's just it's going to disperse, so it can heat up certain areas of the deck that's been tested with certain heat um or tolerance. Essentially, they'll run it forever and check to see how good the components hold up and all that during their stress testing. Now, components are usually pretty good at lasting a good long while, especially at high temperatures, and some components do better when they're actually hotter than not. That's been a couple of years since I've looked into that one, but I believe it was one of the CPUs. That being said, eh, I don't think it's a bad idea to swap it out. If it's a 2230, more and more data is kind of seeming like it's coming out that people, especially in the community, aren't having too many issues or having any issues with 2230 size SSDs. So I think you're good to go. I still wouldn't recommend doing the hack with the 2242, because there was someone that was doing those hacks, and they do mention it in this article. When I talked about it a couple months ago. So we're gonna get into the raw details here very soon. I guess we can get into it now. Samsung has its own 2230 solution, which they've had for a while, but it's at around 2000 or 2400 and 1900, and no one's really tested it. The article goes on to say, and so we can't, like, these companies will come out and say it's this fast, this good, without actually but those are under certain circumstances for them. And so, like with SD cards, it's best to get a good review of it, and someone that actually stress tests it and tests it, because the read write sorry, the random read write is one of the most important things when it comes to these things. because you're almost never going to be just reading. You're never almost going to be writing. You're always going to be semi accessing portions and writing, especially if it's your operating system drive. That's really important. Now, that being said, I'm still of the opinion that, like, if you don't want to afford it or if you are pretty content with swapping SD cards out, it's still a good solution. What gets me excited is 2 terabytes is exciting. 1 terabyte is exciting to me for the price, but the 2 terabytes is where it's at for me. That's when it starts getting worth it for me. That I'm not going to have to swap out my SD card as much, and I can have some of my main games on the Dex SSD as opposed to the SD cards. I don't mind having SD cards, as you've noticed. I've been a pretty big proponent over the months about that. The 2230 is going to have a performance claim of 4700 and 4300 right. So those are almost the same. That's really good for the 2230 that is. We get I mean, I shoot for drives that are 5,000 up and read and write on a 2280. And I really like I've had really good speeds with those types of drives. So this is getting really close to such a small form factor. It's pretty awesome. Now, if we go over to the storage review one, they further talk about how they kind of just and I'll include these in the description below when I'm done. I should have done that sooner, but didn't think about it. But they further go into this article, and I'm not going to go too deep into it of how they're kind of doing it and um why and what kind of tech it is. Speeds included right here. Now, the big thing I like about this right here, it's this image and what they've talked about. It's all on one side. You can have dual-sided SSDs technically, where um the NAND flash, the memory is put on one side or on both sides. This is going to be one-sided. That's very important because that's what the Steam Deck supports. Steam Deck does not support dual-sided NAND. So that's really important to note. So if you're ever upgrading, make sure you do not get a dual-sided. I think most of them out in the wild is one-sided though, because I think they're designed to be portable, not to be chunky. But with that comes additional types of like 3D NAND. I don't know if that's what the way they're going, but efficiency purposes, they have to go that way. Okay, so this further goes into some more of their testings and whatnot, but we will see when it actually comes out and really validate whether or not this is going to be as fast as they say it is. So, but this is the claims. This is the average SSD 3533. So you're seeing quite a big jump, especially at this size. So, with that being said, let's go to comments and then we can get back into our next subject. So, welcome, Brandon, aka Chad, Cat, and Baby. How's it going? Keith, what do you use more, the Steam Deck or the PS5? Honestly, my PS5 is right here and it's not fully plugged in. I use the Steam Deck more than I use my PS5. I I even have Returnal. I bought it like the beginning of last year, and then Steam Deck kind of came out, and I was going to play it. Haven't played it yet. And now that it's coming for the for PC, I might buy it, but I'm going to talk about that later about Returnal stuff. I love my PS5. I haven't gotten a PS5 exclusive game that I've had to play, and so I'm a little. I'm just not doing it right now. And I guess I'll show that. That's the comment. I need to be better at that. Viesta, Viesta is still on the 64 gigabyte, so this might be perfect timing. Awesome. Yeah, it's getting there. We're getting really close. If you save up enough money, you can get yourself a nice, sweet 2 terabyte drive. Maybe they're gonna be a little. I think they sell out pretty good, especially if we get good prices on them, which I don't think we've had any yet. Okay. Fiesta. Okay, even more perfect timing. 2 terabytes. Now imagine what the experimental 2 terabyte micro SD with the experiment. Oh yeah. 4 terabytes would be amazing in the deck. Unlimited power right there. Honestly, with 4 terabytes, I'd still have to swap out my SD cards every once in a while because I test a lot. I need to do that video of setting up a home network to keep my deck games on my NAS drive, but that's another day, I guess. Or if I have time. There's so much stuff that I have in the works. I'm trying to slim down my stuff so that I can be more focused and get the good stuff out that I know that is very exclusive, I guess, to me. Maybe Lumkey. There are very few games speed does not matter for desktop mode. That another question. Yes, for desktop mode, yes. Agreed, Lumkey. That's why I've been a proponent of like not going too crazy with these drives and all that. But the other thing I forgot to mention fully, this has warranty. Most of the ones you have to buy and upgrade do not have a warranty. They are OEM, and so you're screwed if it fails potentially. This is an all around good package as long as we get good prices. I feel like that's the big deal. So I agree. Like um, multiplayer games can benefit from faster reads. If you're going to be running multiple, there's a lot that could potentially, but I highly agree. Like, I usually go SD cards for upgrades, but I would do a 2 terabyte eventually. Lone key. There are, let's see, and then I'm sorry, I can't say it. Has anyone played Witcher 3 next gen on deck AMD? How does it play? I'm hearing mixed things. I have not played it yet. I honestly need to update my version of it, but from other content creators in the Steam Deck sphere are saying that it's kind of a mixed bag, but I'm also hearing good things from one subreddit that I saw where they essentially set the settings in such a way they had to use experimental. So just as a note on that, you need to use experimental proton experimental to be more precise. And then you should be able, and there's a couple of settings, obviously, you need to get better performance. You set that and you should be good to go. From my understanding, it looks really good on the deck. I don't know performance wise if it's better or not. Sometimes with those graphical upgrades, you could actually get better performance because the way things are processed. It's really weird. And API is used graphically. Death. I'm just scared to open up the Steam Deck and install an SSD. I do have a video on that, Death. So if you need to, I do talk about a lot of the safeties and a lot of stuff in there. I love my deck and Steam OS, but I am missing Fortnite and League of Legends a lot. Yeah, it's. I think there's a way to play League. I haven't fully figured it out. Meaning, like, I get to it and then start trying, and then I have to do a video, and so I do a different project. But yeah, Fortnite can be done through the Xbox game streaming service, xCloud or whatever, Xbox Cloud, and also you can dual boot Windows or just or just use Windows for now if that's really two important things for you. Um, Death maybe later on when I feel more confident to open it up and install it, then I will be, then I will, but we'll see. Fair. Jason, sick 2 terabyte. I can't wait. Ariba, welcome, Ariba. You can never have enough memory. Yes, Ariba, exactly. Lumkey smiles, thanks. Zypher, I heard not well. I'm far enough now that I don't get the context on that. Necrosphere, welcome. M2IJ, Witcher just got fixed by Valve earlier today. Oh, nice. Yeah, I figured Valve would be on top of that because Witcher 3, honestly, you should probably bring that up. Next gen update. We'll talk. We'll go into we can go into this when we get into the game section of this. Sorry, we're gonna get through comments and then we'll get moving back on. I'm not scared of opening my deck. I've opened small devices before. I was just able to fix them. However, I suck at soldering. I don't have enough vision to solder connectors. Jason, are you talking about your controllers, like the joysticks? If you're planning on upgrading, make sure to be careful on the version you have. So there's version A and B's of the controller sticks. So make sure to be wary of that. It's not too bad, just 2 solder points, one for each controller stick. I did a video on it, and it was a little embarrassing how long it took, but I got it done. Does opening the deck void the warranty, Zypher? I technically yes. I think it does void the warranty. They usually, as long as they can tell there's no foul play, they'll still replace it, but I would be hesitant. I've opened mine many a times. I actually feel confident sending it in if something happened. But at the same time, I think they've been cracking down a little bit because some people just are not careful enough and break it. And why should Valve replace it if someone else broke their own device? So just be careful and own up to it if you break it. But likelihood is very low that you'd break it. Well, let's see. The Cat Smith for you. I don't believe you need a solder to upgrade your Steam Deck SSD. No, you do not need a solder to upgrade the SSD unless you're going really crazy, which I still don't know why you'd do that. And then we got some interesting chats. Um, at Brink Necrosphere. Yeah, I upgraded my 64 gigabyte to a 512 gigabyte SSD and got 2 micro SD cards. Nice. Honestly, it's a lot. It's a lot of space. I'm working with I have like probably 3 terabytes total between everything, and it's going well for me. I probably could use some more, but I also do a lot of downloading and testing, and that's honestly, if I wasn't, 2 terabytes total would be more than enough for me. Viesta, yes, yes, we need an attack wolf on this bot. She might be on another platform though, because she was having issues on YouTube. Um, Richards, Windows versus game mode. What's your preference? My preference is Steam OS game mode, hands down. I used to like Windows enough, but they need to optimize their operating system. And even like with Neo Air, their whole system to try to make it work well on the deck or on the Neo devices on Windows is just garbage. So Windows, if they could do it, which I think they could, make a gamepad mode. Honestly, I'm surprised they haven't done it yet. They could do really well with Windows. I like Windows. I think it's fast enough on it. It's just it's not easy to navigate. Um, Game mode is truly a console-like experience, and for on the go game playing that I do on the deck, because I have a main PC to play on. I don't need to play around. I do play around on the deck because I do content for it. But if I wasn't doing content, I could just use the deck and be in game mode most of the time because I have all the games I'll ever need to play. I don't need to play all the other ones that are on my other things because I have my main computer for that. Arepa, for my Steam Deck, I got 2 terabytes. I'm not afraid to open it since I mod consoles on the side. I just didn't want to worry about which SSD to buy to upgrade. Yeah. Honestly, most of them do. They work fine. Most, but best to like, I guess, look into it or something like that. If it's compatible with the Surface, most likely it works. Viesta, I use the Steam Deck as a whole desktop. I have had nearly zero issues, especially on SteamOS 3.4. 3.4 has been pretty nice. I've had a few issues, but not much. Um, Honestly, I've been developing a little bit more on it because I've been testing the Deck Revealed app project, and it's been working pretty good. It's not bad. It still would like I did my whole thing 8 months ago. I don't know, 8 months ago, I guess, where I maybe 7 months ago. It's forever ago now. Where I did my like 1 week only the Steam Deck, nothing else, and I struggled a little bit because editing videos was not fun on the deck at that time. Oh, Wolf. Making gifts for games revealed. Thank you, Wolf. You're awesome. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. The real reason why the real reason why everyone is here. Tesla launches Steam in its cars with with thousands of games. Now, the article it's pretty interesting one. This electric one. This was a little bit more technical actually than some of the other ones I found, which I thought was interesting. Uh, but this is cool, and this is related to the deck. Don't worry. It's a big deck with a very big battery. Or I guess so if I did like a video on Steam Deck batteries, I should include Tesla, right? I should buy a Tesla and have a bunch of different batteries and include Tesla as a portable battery bank. But that's nonetheless. So what this is essentially, and I figured they wouldn't put SteamOS the on Tesla. What I think they're doing is they're running a version of Unix. I don't know which version. It might actually be Arch, but if we go down here a little further, let's see here. It has 10 teraflops of processing power, which is just ridiculous. You have to get the newer models. It's the new Model S and the new Model X Teslas, and they have gaming grade APUs in them, and they're pretty crazy, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, we don't want any audio. Okay. Um, Pretty crazy. I mean, this is kind of a fun ad actually, where you pick up your controller, play a little bit. I'm not gonna say Cyberpunk would be amazing on this with 10 teraflops. I think the deck has 2 teraflops, if I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken on that? I believe it's 2 teraflops, which is it's almost 2 teraflops. It's comparable to the PS4. The PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X have close to, I believe, 10 teraflops, if I'm not mistaken, or they're around 10 teraflops, right? You guys could correct me on that, but this would be about as powerful as your PS5 or Xbox Series X. Cyberpunk Cyberpunk's going to run great on it. Most games are going to run great. What's happening is that they're using, so I believe they worked with Steam to use Proton. So what they're essentially doing is running Steam inside of there and their Linux version of it, because there's a Linux version of Steam. They probably more or less made kind of their own interface, or at least took it, and then I'm sure they have an approved list, but they've been probably I bet you they've been testing Proton versions on top of games on the device, and I bet you it's going really well. Because honestly, I was playing games on my Ioneo Air in SteamOS on it, and it was decent. Honestly, I thought it was pretty good. Once I put SteamOS on there, the Ioneo Air actually became a much better device because it just was smoother. It ran better. The interface was better. The interface with the Ioneo Air is garbage. Getting stuff set up on that is garbage. But I played Half Life on it. Played great. And so my hope is that Proton does have support. There is some support for NVIDIA drivers and all that, but this is an AMD APU based on a similar generation as the Steam Deck, the uh, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. These all have very similar, which is very interesting because if you get SteamOS easily onto the PS5 or Xbox Series X, you'd have a pretty powerful Steam box right there. And I really want to see it one day. But yeah, that's another topic for another time. Um, this is just all around a really exciting little deal. And I know like Elon's an interesting person. Whatever you wanted to get into on the politics side of things, I'm not going to. But I thought it was interesting that he purposely went after a gaming grade APU for the Tesla. And so you're able to play games on there. And like I said, you're able to, it's going to be better than a lot of people's uh, PCs, which is very bizarre. But this is going to be expensive. The Model S and the Model X are their so I think they are their top models, and they are hell of expensive. With all the price hikes, I believe they're getting up into the hundreds of thousand. Let's see here. Let's see the new Model S. I did a video on this a while ago. We don't need it. We're not going to spend too much time on this. I just want I down go down this a little bit further because I believe some other car manufacturers are also kind of eyeing this over. As if you're a luxury car, what more can you do these days to compete? This is, I think, a good way to compete is throwing gamer grade stuff on the go. Now they need to be able to make it so that you can play it from like a panel in the back, or be able to play it in multiple areas and have that dual purpose. And hopefully, hopefully the game doesn't crash the computer, therefore destroying your driving capability and dying. But I'm sure if they properly, and that's we'll see if they properly separate those processes, then the likelihood is very low. Is this the new one? I don't know if this is the new one, but we can see right here. The minimum is almost 100,000, and this one might not even include that. And we'll get into comments here in a section. I know it kind of they pile up and all that. Um, but yeah, so it's looking pretty good. That's oh yeah, here's the comparison right here. Tesla Arcade, 79,000. Yeah, that's very generous of no, that's not. So this did come out. Okay. I love how they have the KF console, and honestly, I don't think this came out right. I wanted this. I honestly want I don't think I would put chicken in it. That's like a horrible idea. But I thought it was actually I didn't think it looked too bad. I thought it was pretty cool. Um, but I don't know if I would have paid for it. It's a lot of money to stick down on something like that. So you can see in comparison, um, everything that this is related to. Yeah, it definitely looks like you're going to get better performance out. Yeah, so 10 teraflops, which is a really important metric, but it's not the most important metric. There's other things, and depending on the game, it can be better or worse. So definitely looking like it's decent enough, but still pretty good. Okay, let's get over the comments, and we'll get on to the next subject. Oh boy, I have so many comments to get through. Okay, so Lomkey, playing games while charging your car. I mean, you can do that with the Steam Deck technically, but it is kind of cool that you can do it with your car. Or hear me out. I already have another Steam Deck for my wife, but I'm like my wife and kids. We could all play Castle Crashers or something. That'd be really fun. There's a lot of things you could potentially do, especially if you have a Wi-Fi built into the car. Foombooter wants a gift too. A gift or a GIF? I don't know actually what she was talking about now that you bring that up. If it was a GIF or a gift. Um, must be Steam flat pack like. Are you talking about Lone Key, the Steam on the Tesla or what? It doesn't have to be flat pack, I don't think. And they're not using Steam OS. Um, Viesta, it's gonna be enough frames, honestly. It's definitely better than the 8 gigs do worry me a little bit, but I do think technically this is gonna be faster than the Steam Deck. So, I mean, it is. It's just what other processes are gonna be at play when you're playing these games and all that. So, there's a lot that kinda goes into that, and I'm kinda really curious about it. Um, Foombooter, I shall wait patiently. Have I missed any streams recently? I don't think you have. I did the. Were you a part of the Choo Choo Charles last night? I did do that on my alt account. LoJack, the Brinkinator. Sorry, I'm late. No problem. LoJack. Welcome, welcome. Fiesta, Linux getting so much attention that AAA devs might start focusing on Linux. That'll be the day. They're going to start focusing at the bare minimum. Valve is doing them a great service. They could cheap out hard, and we're going to talk about, and that's going to segue us very soon into the next topic. They could cheap out and just make sure it runs well on the Steam Deck. Not hard. The gang is all here, Foombooter. uh, Death Lord Strong. Every new Tesla should come with an inboard charging cable for the deck. Every every Tesla needs to have a decent charging system, and I believe they have wireless charging, right? But I don't know. Yeah, about USB cord. I would assume be fine to hook it in and charge. Cool, sir. Steam Deck comes in at 1.6 teraflops. I always round up to 2. I mean, I should just do 1.5. The Xbox Series S is 4 teraflops, and the PS5 is 10 teraflops, and the Series X is yep. No, yeah, you answered it before we got to this section, which I forgot was in this article. Um, Fiesta, I believe it's that strong for the self-driving AI and any future features. I'm sure it is, but honestly, it's that's pretty beefy. Yeah, I agree, Jason. They should sell the joystick caps for the joystick controllers, pre-soldered and stuff like that. But it's not too bad. The problem is you have to have a solder gun. So, Lomkey, so you can live in your Cybertruck forever. Got a place to sleep and a place to play games. Exactly. You just need a restroom and you're good to go. Which who knows? There's so many compartments in that you might be able to hide something. But you can play Cyberpunk while you're in your Cybertruck. That'd be awesome. LoJack, the Model S Plaid is 130,000 base. That's just no. Cars are getting way too expensive, and Teslas, I'll be honest, 100% honest, I think they are overpriced. They are getting to that point. I've wanted a Tesla for a while. I'm starting to get to the point where other car manufacturer come to me with a better deal, like price to what you give me, because I don't believe Tesla's coming out with self-driving anytime soon. They keep saying it, they push it off for so long. So I've kind of honestly, I'm really losing any faith I had left in Tesla and potentially gonna because I want an EV. I am gonna be getting an EV as soon as I can afford one or need one in like a year, hopefully. Um, just need a kitchenette, Lomkey. Yeah, no, Foombooter, you're right. It needs a kitchenette. But that's what driving through the drive-through of Wendy's is for. Witcher 3 update is crashing. I'm dying. Windy watch. Are you talking about in the game? You're going to be playing Witcher 3 or driving in Cyberpunk and just it's going to crash the game and you're going to die if someone's playing the game while you're driving, which they don't let you do, by the way. Jason, yeah, if it's a 2 terabyte internal SSD, I will run Windows and SteamOS boot on that. Yep. Ooh, I'll go look over there, Wolf, after the stream. And if anyone else, if you have not yet done it, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also to bash that bell with your crowbar if you have not done that yet. Also, you can join our Discord, the Games Revealed Discord. Wolf can hopefully kindly throw it into the chat. Foombooter. Oh no, I missed that one. I'm pretty sure I subscribed though. I didn't get any. I'm sorry, man. Um, I did a horrible job of promoting it. I threw a couple of places in like Discord and all that. We might do better with our roles. Honestly, we do need a overhaul of the Discord server sooner than later because I know that there's some things we can do to improve it for people that want to have the extra notifications of everything. I'll also be tying notifications into the website very soon. Okay, Foombooter, excellent. I'll make one for you too, Wolf. Oh, nice. I love seeing the love in the community. And then, oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Lomkey, yeah, there's a flat pack of Steam as long as they have the dependencies. If it's running some type of Linux, can sandbox Steam as the flat pack can have mostly all the dependencies to make a lot games to work. Yeah, so they're working with Valve. I believe on this. So from my understanding, they're working with them. Tesla's working with Valve, or Valve's working with Tesla. So that is going to be a big part of what helps us, or helps them have the support and all that. From my understanding, it looks pretty smooth. Jason, playing Kingdom Hearts on the Steam Deck is a mixed bag. What I mean is, it has too many hoops to jump through just to play them. I might as well emulate them for now. Yeah, I could see that one. Sometimes emulating is easier, which is sad. Fiscal Goose, have a good night, everyone. Thank you for watching. You have a good night yourself. The Catsmith for you. Gotta go now. Bye. See you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, we're not ending though, so don't worry. We are moving on to the next topic, which is, yeah. Let's look at the kill switch real quick. I just want to double check the. Oh, this is not the right thing. Uh, wow, kill stitch. I need to put Brent. Whoops, on hockey. Just real quick, we're gonna go to I know I didn't space it. Yeah, pre-orders are now. I think I'm just gonna get a free one sent, but I'm gonna have to double check to make sure that they're gonna set up. I do gotta say I kind of like their new skins. Um, yeah. And this is the new one. They didn't change a whole lot. Um, don't click random links. I didn't click random links, kind of. I've clicked that one before, but you're right. Don't click them. Google's safe. Um, I still stand by it that the kill switch is an amazing accessory for the deck. Is it premium? Yes, it's premium, but I'll be honest, I really like it. Ooh, I do like this green one. Mm, Obsidian, another honestly, that's another good one. Triple black. I think I'd get the green or this purple or obsidian one. It's probably more black, but it has a hint. It's got that obsidian gradient to it. So honestly, yeah, I I I just can't. I think it's good. Oh, is it going to actually be? It's going to be $100. They're probably trying to recoup their losses. But they're going to allow you to pre-order it, sell it at what they were selling it, and then they're going to upcharge that thing. So if you want, that's interesting news. I probably should do an update on that, but I've done a lot of kill switch updates. But maybe I'll do a short on that. If you're going to want to get here, sorry, with the D brand stuff, you're going to want to get this or pre-order it before it goes up in price if you're interested. And it has my even without or with the bad kickstand, which I fixed with another thing. I think it's a good product. Okay, we don't need to talk about that much longer. Now, much longer or anymore. Let's look at the Witcher. Let's talk about the Witcher 3 updates. We're gonna talk about a little bit of that, but honestly, I haven't done it yet on the deck. I just know that there's a lot of stuff coming out, and I know there's a lot of content creators that are making stuff on it. So you should have plenty of content out in the ether for you guys to consume. Um, I like this. The Witcher 3 next gen upgrades on PC with ray tracing and ultra plus 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 plus. Everything is mind boggling. Oh my gosh, I hate Twitter things though. It goes to it. So essentially, it's going to be like offering ray tracing, DLSS. It's kind of pulling a Skyrim, right? Let's do Steam Deck. It's pulling a Skyrim kind of thing. It looks Liam over at Gaming on Linux probably touched it. Yep. Um, Okay, this I believe has been fixed though. The Witcher 3, the update out of the box crashes the Steam Deck, but I believe with the Proton experimental, which someone already mentioned in the chat, if you have the new, you need to make sure you have the newest one updated. So you just need to make sure your Proton um, experimental is updated. That's really what you need to do. And then you can go in and play it. I don't even think you need to switch to the betas anymore. I could be wrong. I don't know, maybe you do. I don't know. I downloaded it from the get-go and I didn't need to go into game properties and betas and oh, you can select the classic option. Okay, he's talking about so if you need to go back, if you're not liking the new version, you can go into the properties menu, go in to there's a betas area where you can usually subscribe to a game's beta if you want, so you get newer updates sooner. Or you can sometimes they'll put like older versions. Like this is a pretty and I'm glad they did this. If you need the classic version, then you can go back and go back. So let's say with the Steam Deck, let's say it will never work great on the new update, the next gen update, which sounds like it's going to be really good. So I'm really excited for that. But it definitely, yeah, if it didn't, it's nice to have that option. So, um, I need to do more. There's a couple of games that I need to play and try out on the deck. It's just yeah, I just haven't gone that far. Um, maybe if we have time later, we'll look at the Hogwarts one. I threw that in there, I think, just to remind myself. Okay, so I have a list of games that I'm most excited for the next year, and I'm hoping that there's Steam Deck support. Now, that being said, I do play games on my PC a lot. I just want to play some of these on the go, especially after I beat them. It'd be really great. I want to go over some of these. Witcher 3 is while really good, is not a new game. It's like Skyrim all over again, right? But let's go over my list. If you got let's go over chat first too, and then you guys can throw out some stuff that you're excited for next year, and hoping that it works for Steam Deck. And we'll kind of talk about this for a little bit before we get into our last few subjects, our topics for today. Okay, let's see here. Fiesta, new mechanical kickstand, 4 micro SD storage, a bucket for the bottom of the Steam Deck dock, and a USB extender for the dock to work. Yeah, yeah, yep, yes. So that's what's in the kill switch and what's kind of changed, right? Because they do have the micro SD cards holders, which I kind of wondering if they kind of copied Deck made on that. But thank you, Viesta. No, you're correct on that. The USB, yeah, actually, you're 100% correct on that. I didn't even go over that part. I should have. But yeah, you're right. It has all those pieces you just mentioned. And I think it's pretty confirmed by it's confirmed by D Brand. Home key. I am fine for now on a case. My Steam Deck is naked with glasses for now. That is totally fine. Honestly, if I didn't play my deck very much or didn't do what I do, I don't know if I'd run a case potentially. I do have kids, so it's a toss up. I wouldn't have a couple years ago. Nowadays, 100% rolling it, and I really do like the kill switches. I like the way the kill switch feels in my hands. Fiesta pulling it by the sky. I Is it free though for the PS5 and Xbox Series X? Because I thought they were selling that one, but everything else is free. Wolf, nice to see new people along with my OGs. I agree, Wolf. Love seeing the community grow and only get stronger. Viesta, I don't know any new games coming out for next year. I just discovered them on YouTube. Nice. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones, and we're gonna go over a couple of the ones I'm excited for. These are kind of coming off the cuff of the Game Awards that I did last week or watched live stream wise. For some reason, Fumbuter, the stream keeps on freezing on me. I might need to restart my phone. I have full signal though. If you can scroll up in the comments, I did leave some links to the other platforms. They could maybe work better there. I'm not asking people to leave YouTube, but you might need to if there is hiccups on this one. You can go to another stream. I have Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube is all three, and you can search games revealed on any of those. I think it would work fine. Oh, Soy, thank you guys for liking. You guys are awesome. Brandon, sucks, man. I'll have to watch your next playthrough of Choo Choo. Charles, tomorrow at work. Well, we're out for the day. It's okay, man. Glad you're here. I just want to get it done with because I'm honestly kind of curious what happens. It's not the most complex story, but it's a fun game. Johns, found you via the Chiaki setup guide, which was great. First time watching stream. Hello. Welcome, Johns. How are you doing? Now, with that, I do have a newer video, and I'm actually planning on making a new video because there's a specific one for all that for the Chiaki stuff. That being said, uh yeah, that was a fun thing, and that's kind of got me into the I'm a programmer by trade. That's my career. That's what kind of got me. I created a tool for it based off of what was already there, obviously, but to really make it easier for the Chiaki setup for streaming PS4, PS5. Thank you. And honestly, it's awesome that you found me. I almost forgot to mention I do have a survey, and we will mention that a little bit towards the end of the stream. I do so make sure to stick around because that does have giveaways. I might even give away more than I already mentioned in that because I'm liking the response I'm getting from everyone. So I'm probably going to up the ante on games so that people have a little bit better chance of winning a game. Um, yes, thanks for bashing that like and all that. Thank you, Wolf. Oh gosh, Coulter, that is not very cool, Coulter. That's harsh. My video is stuttering as well. I assume Brink downgraded his internet now that his budget is tighter. I have not downgraded. No, I signed my soul over to Comcast. Do you think Comcast actually is paid through money. It's paid through blood. It's kind of a blood thing. Okay, so videos. What? Wait, maybe this isn't the game I'm thinking of, or maybe it is. Is this the? Oh yeah, okay. This is the Magic the Gathering game that they're working on. It looks really good. Um, I do not. I can throw on and maybe have it be low. So I don't want to drown out me. Okay. Okay. So this is one of the first games. So there are a couple of games. This is a game that we can see that it's like graphically, it's a little intense. I am a little worried about games like this. I think this is the gameplay, honestly. Maybe parts of it's cutscenes, but it looks really good. Um, I'm excited to see because it looks like the gameplay is going to be very different. That's about what we got. A new single player magic shooter sounds baller to me if you can get that magic shooting portion done right. I'm hoping that this will work well on the deck. Like I said, this is just going to be the start of a couple of games. We're going to go through these kind of quickly, and then we'll get into maybe I can get into comments in and out between this one, but it's definitely um, it's looking pretty good. Uh, I'm just really worried because the min specs are 1060s, NVIDIA 1060, which the deck has been compared to a 1050, but it has also been compared to a 1060 at times. The problem is it all depends on what their focus is on. If it's RAM, I believe the deck has enough RAM. CPU wise, the CPU is a little weaker on the deck. Um, with the 4 cores, but ultimately, it just really comes down to their support. So, really concerned about next year and longevity of AAA games on the deck, especially like really um, intense games, which a lot more games are coming out that way because the next gen. And if you didn't see the T flops, the PS5 is a much more powerful system than the Steam Deck. T flops wise. Let's see here. Fumbooter, awesome. Thanks. I'll add those to the list to follow. It seems to be working now. Don't want to. Okay. I got a PS5 yesterday. I'm not going to open it until Xmas though. Congrats, Fumbooter. Awesome. I do like my PS5, but like I said, I play my other stuff a little bit more. Oh yeah, Wolf got herself a fold for Christmas. A Fiesta Steam Deck has a really good RAM set. Yes. Yes, and then Brandon, aka Chad is getting himself a computer partial parts for Christmas. Okay, so let's get on to the next one. This is the one, and I mentioned this already briefly in my video last week. This is the one that's got me the most excited. I am so excited for this one. Tell me if this is too loud or too quiet for you. We'll talk about things and whatnot while this is going on, so don't worry. Um, oh, LoJack, your PC is also what you're getting for your Christmas present. Nice. That's right. And you're not going to open it until Christmas, which, it's in a week from week and a day from Friday. Yeah, I can't wait until you build your computer, Brandon. Cool, sir. I'm sorry. I'll speak. I'll not speak of anyone's financial woes anymore today. Oh, cool, sir. It's okay to joke every once in a while. But if you're gonna joke, I'm gonna joke back. My poor internet. That's precious to me. Death Lord Strong. Thank you for responding with a list. Top 3 of the VGAs that I hope work on the Steam Deck: Armored Core, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16. I actually have good hope that Final Fantasy 16 will work on the deck. I don't know. I think Diablo 4 will too, honestly. It has controllers, sounds like it has really good controller support. The min specs are looking decent enough. Armored Core looks intense, and that is actually on my list. This is the game I'm most excited for from the Game Awards. I might actually, though I need to see more combat and all that. This might be on the top 3 most excited for games of 2023. Just because it's a third person, it reminds me of Witcher 3, but I love the twist of your significant other who died in the last um, mission, essentially becoming what she didn't want to become, which is a spirit, and then she helps you fight and take on the unnatural stuff of the world. It sounds really good, honestly. Okay, so let's get on to the next. Judas is the next one. This is one that Lady Gaga. We'll do some Lady Gaga. This is one that threw me off so hard. This was like it was like BioShock, yeah. So it's from so it says right here, Judas is a single player narrative first person shooter developed by Ghost Story Games, a studio led by Ken Levine, creative director of System Shock 2, BioShock, and BioShock Infinite. All related games, all amazing games. Honestly, I love all the BioShocks. And so it w honestly, art direction, yeah, creative director, but art direction is heavily looks like BioShock. I was guessing when I saw this that this was BioShock. In fact, it was a little I was like, "Oh, whoa, they're really going futuristic with the new BioShock." But is this honestly, think of BioShock in space, and it looks good. Has that BioShock feel to it, turrets, it just has a lot of stuff that just feels very BioShocky. At the same time, has a couple of extra pieces, um, that make it feel like, Fallout potentially in space. So, I'm excited for this one quite a bit. I'm thinking looking at it graphically, so if we look at this graphically and the specs that I didn't include this on my list, but this is actually what I'm really excited for. Let's see. But if you're looking at this, I'm not I'm not actually that concerned that this is gonna no, I think there's a good chance. I think there's a 50-50 chance this is gonna work decent enough on the deck, meaning 30 frames per second. Once we get into next year, I'm gonna say this now, don't expect games to be working at 60 frames if they're a AAA top-notch graphical game, unless it's heavily, optimized, which games can be like that. There's a lot of game companies that do really well. Last of Us Part 1 is gonna be fairly optimized. That game is usually has been. That being said, it's a remake, and I don't think they even went too crazy on the graphics, so there's a good chance that it should work fine. That one. And it's been confirmed that they're gonna make sure it works. Then that's Judas. Oh man, that was one that was a bit that was the most surprising one because I really got it off. Oh, you're right. Atomic yeah, yeah, I'm gonna get to your, in fact, I'm gonna pin that. Atomic Heart looks really good. They do that was that at the Game Awards, though? I don't remember if that was at the Game Awards. Um, Bandai. So, this was another shock, partially because I wasn't sure what it was at first. I thought it was Mech Warrior or something else, um, even though Mech Warrior is not Bandai. I don't know why I was thinking it was 'cause you see Bandai at the beginning. Um, Armored Core has always had a little bit of an issue with environments being detailed enough and feeling like it's a world that could be lived in, but maybe not lived in, but whatever you want to just to tighten up this time because we're going to be running out of time soon. It looks, let's just say it's from software. There's also Another one that's not on my list that is also in the top 5 probably is the Star Wars game. The last what is it? It's that new Star Wars game. I can't remember it. I apologize. I don't have it in my notes either. This looks good, and who doesn't love robots? Fighting robots, autonomous robots, whatever robots you want. It looks like, just mech metal, just hell world that's gonna be fun to destroy, and it gets so gritty. That's the thing about Armored Core. It feels gritty. It's like a Jedi Survivor. Thank you, Death, Lord. Jedi Survivor is the Star Wars one that I'm really excited for. I just need to beat the first one. That's why I'm like, I have to beat the first one, so I can't get excited for the second one unless I beat the first one. I need to beat the first one. Um, yes, this looks sick. I love the grittiness of the world. Then if we do game, let's do Atomic Heart real quick. We're gonna get through these really quick because I'm gonna have to get off in about 15 minutes because then I need to get ready for the next stream, all the good stuff. This, oh, this was at the Game Awards. I don't know why this was not on my list. Oh, that's why. I think I was gone for half of it. So Atomic Heart, yeah, it also this one also looks like a little bit like, sorry, I need to double check something. Yeah, it also looks like BioShock a little bit. It has a BioShock feel to it with some kind of. And it's in such a weird way. It's a very futuristic game, but it has like a couple of weird aspects that feel like maybe not even BioShock, Fallout maybe esque, but it very much not. I don't know. It's really hard to talk to like mention this game, especially because some of the stuff that they hit on style wise is just like this right here. Yeah. Could that be a BioShock kind of scene? Yeah, potentially. Could that? Yes. It just the roundness I think kind of gets to me sometimes with this stuff, but as the Soviet Union, it looks like it looks fun. It really does. Uh Death. It's like ooh, I like that. It's like BioShock meets Fallout meets Half-Life 2. Honestly, I could see that. Yeah, some of the enemies, some of the things kind of look like it, but they have some really out of those world kind of stuff in this game. So I agree with that. Then Returnal is on the list, but I'm not going to do Returnal. You can look it up, or I had it in my I did have a little bit of, in my one of my last videos. Returnal is a game where you just go through cycles. Like so, essentially, you go down, 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 and play your playthrough, and then if you die, you have to restart again. Right? Return. Oh, it'd be perfect on the deck. I'm really hoping that it works on the deck, but those specs are a little high. Like the min specs are a little high for the deck. Um, Honestly, would love to see these developers actually support. So instead of doing, oh, let's do the 1060, we're going to use the deck as the base, like the minimum specs for all our games. And that's the sad thing. It's the minimum specs. That's why I say sometimes there's a lot of these games that might not work on the deck. But the deck is a great last gen system. So meaning it plays a lot of old stuff much better than Switch does. But it would be nice to see the developers like, hey, instead of we're trying to hit this as a min, we're going to try to hit the Steam Deck so it's hitting 30 frames at least. I'd love to see that metric. And the thing is, we're getting further and further into how many cells of the deck are coming out. We potentially could get there. Hades 2 is another one I talked about on the stream in a lot of different places. This, let's see here. This, because I don't have a lot of time. This I haven't even fully beat it. Like I've gone through a couple of like I've done runs and beat because technically you have to do a bunch of like finish it kind of a few times to beat it. Um I haven't even fully finished Hades 1 and I love this game. It's a good sit down, make your way through it and honestly it's really good for the deck because you can it's like that Returnal. You get a certain point and then if you need to pause it, you can just suspend, come back in and keep on doing it. You can do it on the Switch. That's what I played it on. I loved it on the Switch. Playing Hades on the main on like a PC is a little bit more difficult. I like playing it on mobile, and it's honestly Steam should bundle this in with the deck. I'd love to see that. And this is one that I think Hades, if you have not, this is a highly recommended game for the deck. I think you should get it. Um, it plays great. It looks great. The style is great. The company is an amazing company, and I think they deserve the support. It's a fun, especially if you like anything like with the mythos of it being Greek. It's fun. The powers, the random way that you traverse the dungeons is really fun. With this, it's just a continuation of that with additional characters and all. We don't need to get into any further. This is not a Hades love fest kind of thing. Okay, we're done with these areas. Let's go into some comments, and then we're gonna go into the website. I guess to just go into comments and all that. Um, Before I do that, the games I'm playing right now are Choo Choo Charles, doing a stream right after this on my alt channel. Slime Rancher has been one that I've been really having fun with on the deck, and my wife has put it in like over 20 hours probably at this point. She's really liking on her deck, and it's a fun one. It's an older one. Slime Rancher 2 came out, and honestly, I just like the vibe of it of like going around sucking up slimes and just having fun. I really do like that, and so I just want to say those are the games I'm playing. I do plan on trying to. Well, Choo Choo Charles I haven't played on the deck yet. I do plan on playing it on the deck soon, and then I also have, I'll announce some other games later that I'm gonna be playing and maybe even try on the stream at one point. Okay, let's go to the website real quick. I have a very important thing that if I can get people to do this, very helpful to me, very helpful. If you could go to this, in here, you go to this URL and take my survey at the bottom. I essentially what I do in this is it's a mini sales pitch, kind of. It's not meaning like it's not void of anything. It has a lot of content to it, but my project that I really want to focus on for a good yes, High on Life is the one I want to play, and I think it is playable on the deck. And it's because I have Xbox Live, or Xbox game streaming, I can play it on there. So I need a lot of feedback from everyone, but this is gonna be I'm gonna be probably doing this half the time, maybe even more depending on funds. I'm gonna treat it like a contract and all that. We'll talk about funding here in a second. Um, and Wolf, if you could get ready to do a poll on the funding side of thing, that would be awesome because I'm really curious to get feedback from everyone before we leave. This I essentially want to. So I've made a lot of guides. I want to kill most guides, meaning I want to make it so that you don't have to use a guide to get a lot of functionality to work. Meaning you could still maybe need a guide or do additional things, but I want to kind of kill the traditional concept of a guide. Let's zoom in on this a little bit better, just so you can see. This is my kind of concept. I already have a base guide for this already to set up launching web-based media apps. So you have like Netflix, but then you can also do launch game streaming apps. I should have said web-based game streaming apps. Xbox Cloud, GeForce Now. It works pretty decent. It's not perfect and it has a lot of ways to be improved. And I am working more on the web version. Um, I've been doing a lot of toying around and helping myself with help myself to my time, I guess, to work on this, and it's essentially eaten up time to where I haven't released videos, so I've gone back and forth. But I want to focus on this really hard, and I know I could get a base version with these two first options in that's even drastically better than what I already have in there. Um, then I want to tackle easy launch setups, like automatically installing and applying Proton to like Epic Games. Let's install it. That's an unknown. That's going to take some work. So I'm going to be having tiers of how I'm going to be able to, or who wants what quicker. Because I could also do quick EmuDeck scripts, set it up, maybe even remote plays, app manager. Essentially, with the app images, there's a lot of app images that need to be installed properly. I can do that all from a command line and through scripts that I could do through this app. So all you need to do is if I want this app from the Discover store, I could use a command line to install the whole thing. I I can't guarantee it's going to work inside a game mode on some of these things. So some install scripts might need to be inside a desktop mode, but this stuff I already have been testing and it does work in game mode. So some of this would have to require desktop mode, some of it would require game mode. But in the end, you'd be doing mostly just pressing a button or two, maybe putting in your password for your sudo, essentially your access to install things. Also, would include the boot and suspend manager with an existing library from Games Revealed that I've been building. It's going to have even more once we get to that point. Theme manager, these are kind of like stretch goals. Proton manager, I can also put in protein. It manages your protein levels. Make sure you get those proteins and those gains. Because these are a couple things. Honestly, it's not too hard to do, and I could do it. Um, and just more stuff that I could potentially do. There's a lot of utilities, a lot of things I could do to do this. Um, I really want to make it easier. Right now, the version I have that does launches web-based apps does it in a new screen. So if you open up the app, you click on one of the selections, it opens it up into a new screen. So you can go back into SteamOS, manage which one, and close it that way. So you don't have to keep on opening up and closing the same old one that's in the that's in the purely web-based version that I have right now. So it's looking pretty good. I plan on funding it through fundraising and potentially putting a price tag on it. The price tag, obviously, anyone that funds it wouldn't have to pay the price tag. There's server fees. I'm going to try to limit, not have too many server fees attached to this, but if there are some, I need to make sure that it runs forever. And so I'm gonna there it takes a lot of work to build an application. Now, where it comes for you, there's a couple of things. One, signing up to the website because I will send an email out, and I am gonna secure down the newsletter stuff. Like I want to make sure people don't want to like get random emails from Games Revealed. I'm going to make it so that you can select what emails or what not soon in the settings. But if you join Games Revealed now, I will send an email blast out when the funding thing starts, like my crowdfunding thing. I think that's how I'm going to go. I would like to know what you guys think I should do, because I have a decision fatigue on this. Should I do um, traditional crowdfunding? Should I just sell the app straight out? I kind of want to drive some. Honestly, what I'd love to do is drive some, um, essentially some, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to drive some excitement. That's the word. I want to drive excitement. Excitement helps a lot with selling and making sure because the more I raise, the more features I can add quicker. If let's just say I $10,000 is it sounds like a lot, but that's what I need contract wise a month. So if I got about $10,000 to $12,000, that's a contract that I would. In fact, honestly, I'd be getting a $14,000 contract probably. I'm getting it. Hopefully, it's not a little off-putting, but this is what I'm used to making. At my last job, technically just a little bit more, um, but I'm fine doing contract work. I've done contract work for a couple of years. I like it. I'm gonna go look for a contract. If this can take over that contract for a month or two, I can get most of these things out. And then I guess stretch goals will be if what I can get out faster with some of these other things. That being said, some of these things might be near impossible. I wouldn't say it's impossible. There's just a couple things that would be hard. So, um, the Epic launchers and all that. So cool, sir. Yeah. Software engineers make a lot of money. I don't even make as much as some of the other guys do. Like I honestly, because of the state I live in, I don't I don't make what people make in Silicon Valley or anything like that. Yes, make a lot. It takes a lot to build software. This app I'm talking about, this stuff is kind of easy. Kind of, I mean, to manage it and update and all that, it's not, but it takes a lot. And so to still get a really nice UI experience in, it's not like someone could pick this up in like a couple of weeks or a month and get a good experience. And this stuff, it definitely will take a lot more work. And it would like if I was to go and if I wanted this, and I was going to me, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it myself. But to go and hire someone out, it cost me probably even a little bit more than what I'm asking. That being said, it's just it's a goal that I'm trying to hit. I'm going to do this no matter what. But the more money I can raise, the more likely I'm going to hit some of those stretch goals, which I will have in the campaign. Um, so it's going to be important. So to get kind of the point of this part, if you could go to this website, go take the survey. That's a huge portion of this. Like, I need to know what kind of content I'm coming out with. It has a lot of niceties to it. You can see we've got a decent amount of people that have taken the poll and all that, and we can go through. And I'm not going to show too much because there's some custom answers, but I'll go over this sometime in one of the streams with you guys on what's going on with all this. Ooh, we are running out of time. Okay, yeah, so thanks for doing that. I'm in here. I think I mentioned that, hey, I'm going to be giving out 5 games. Um, and then the grand prizes being this M.2 dock, which I already have. So it's not like I'm spending money on it. And I have a bunch of CD keys that I bought for this purpose over the past few months. I will probably be even like I said, I will be giving more than 5. I put 5 here to be safe, but I'll be doing more than 5. And I already gave the Halloween ones. I already gave the Halloween ones. It was today. It was very long, but I'm almost done with the prize system here where you can claim or remull again. So you'll get 1 or 2 chances to remull. If you get a giveaway game, when I start doing challenges and stuff like that on the website, you'll be able to mull again. Okay, so Foombooter, thank you for that. Now, do I use Indiegogo? This is where I'd love to get some feedback from you guys. I know this is maybe a little out of the realm of this. I'm working on an Indiegogo campaign. It seems a little weird to do software on here. It seems like a weird one, but I feel like the Steam Deck community is a really interesting community. I've had a lot of good feedback of what people want to see on all this. So there's a good chance that this could succeed or not. I'd love to see this succeed. I just don't want to start an Indiegogo campaign or a campaign and have people just be like, "Hmm, yeah, well, I think we're running out of time to do a poll. I'm sorry." But I would like to know in the comments below, or if you guys could comment in the live chat real quick before I get on to the next stream. Um, if you think Indiegogo is a good way to go about it, or if I should just do a Patreon, or should I do? Yeah, I think let's just not do the poll for today. We'll just yeah, or you can do a poll. It's just I'm gonna have to end the stream very soon. So Indiegogo is the way I'm gonna go. Kickstarter is a little bit weirder when it comes to games or to software, but I'm also tempted to do it there. But I'm really hoping that the Steam Deck community and what I've pulled from everyone, it sounds really, really like people want this type of app. And I honestly would put as much effort into it as I can to make sure everyone is um good on it. Yeah, so Loam Key Patreon for I say for monthly funds. I think I'm gonna be doing YouTube for now, potentially. Um, but we'll see because I don't think does Patreon work well with YouTube. I want to make sure people on YouTube can I know it eats up a lot of the money, but they get the like you guys can do your emojis and do all your support and all that. That'd be awesome. So that's the thing, Loris. The app itself would be a one-time. I'm debating between it. If I can reduce the server, I don't think the server stuff's going to do much. I could just do it through updates. So I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about server long term. So I don't have to worry about like a monthly subscription fee. This would not be a subscription fee. This would be a one-time fee with probably 1 or 2, maybe 2 or 3 tiers. But the base 2 tiers would you'd be getting pretty much everything. The third one would be for credits and some additional funding or just stuff. That'd be the whole point. So there would not be a monthly fee. It'd be a one-time fee funding to get the app. Because honestly, I'm going to continue working on it. There are milestones that I can get to where it will be amazing anyways, and I'm already started on it. So, Foombooter, do both. Oh, I'll look into doing both. I'm not. I okay. Foombooter likes Indiegogo. Okay, I'm going to continue doing it. I am working on the campaign. I want to get some feedback. So thank you guys. I've been working on this for a little bit. I'm like, well, what if? Uh, but what if? So, I am going to honestly, there's one other project I will be doing too. And once I get this deck revealed app going in a couple months, like really flushed out, I'm gonna hopefully the sooner. It might also make me drive to make me do it sooner. Oh, you're good. I hope to start on my game again. So, um, I will be doing my game again in the future. That was always the point. If I can have a contract like this, and if I can work and get enough money to feed my family, to keep my place, and not have to go get another full time job, because that's the hardest part. Is when I get a full time job, I can do the videos, but I can't do the deck revealed app as easily. So to have to sacrifice one or the other, and I couldn't work on my game at the time. My game, but I will be working on the game though. Yeah, exactly. So the funding and all that. So funding is going to be for me to survive and to eventually bring on another person for the game eventually, but that's outside of the scope. Anything that would be funds for right now would be going to this deck rebuild app, to anyone that's a Steam Deck user. And oh my gosh, the game is the next stream is starting. And okay, Death app. I would go Indiegogo and then do a YouTube membership for future streams and such. Yes, thank you for that. I agree. That's what I was thinking. I just wanted to get like, yeah. Fumbuto, I would say one or two sources of funding would be cool, but not more than that. Yeah, I don't want to go crazy. It just feels so split. Loris, honestly, I want to see this succeed, but I'm unemployed and not able to work, but I want this to go through. No, thank you, Loris. Honestly, just getting the word out. I will say this because I need to get to the other stream. Just getting that's one of the things I want to do too. Whoever shares, because I think I can see referrals in Indiegogo. Whoever shares the most is going to get at the top of the credits in the app. Whoever shares the most, and probably get it for free and all that. So the thing is, the biggest thing I'll need is exposure. If people see the Indiegogo, if I think enough of the Steam Deck community sees the Indiegogo and what I'll be able to do with this, if I can do a good enough campaign, I think it's going to be a success. So thank you guys. Soy, like if there's an access, we're gonna have to talk about this. I'm gonna have to go back through all these comments. I missed so many comments because I was talking about this. So I apologize. Thank you guys for all the recommendations. Honestly, this is all very useful. We can talk about this a little bit in the next stream if you want to go over to the other, my other YouTube channel. So thank you guys for watching. Check out my other videos, which is one that's coming up next. It's not on the Games Revealed channel, it's on the Brink channel, and I'll see you guys over there. Peace out. Later.